Are you struggling with your dog's recall and focus and would like some super fast recall and basically stop being the fun police for your dog? Because that's what recall can feel like for your dog. We recall from fun and we're stopping their fun. So let's see. So 2 goals, 1 game. So the goals we're looking for are the first one is our dog returning to us nice and quickly and with lots of arousal and anticipation. And the second goal is for that proximity and being able to keep our dog close once they do return. As you can see from the diagram, we are going to work with that chase drive, get them in fast, use the arousal, and also have them in close proximity to us. The first bowl, engage and bowl. So we're going to look at how we get this game started, and the next slides will show you exactly what the stages are we're going to go through, and we will also see it in real time with my lovely dog called Bert. Engage and bowl. Well, what does that actually mean? So let's have a little deeper look into what we mean by that. So engage is simply making sure that our dog is looking at us, looking at the piece of food, and really engaged in what we are doing. So consider the environment that you first try and train this. So I wouldn't take it to a busy park or a beach or somewhere there are lots of dogs or lots of distractions. I would try this at home, in the house, in the garden, before taking it out on the road, as they say, out into the real world. So we're going to activate that piece of food. We're going to show it to our dog, and we're going to activate, might move our hand from right to left, take a couple of steps backwards and forwards, and make sure our dog is really locked in on us and that food. Once we know they've got that, we've got that visual and we've got their attention, we will start with our first bowl. And our first bowl will be nicely along the ground and not too far away. So we will roll the food effectively away from us, and our dog will see that piece of food roll on the ground and chase that piece of food. Now, this is the good bit. Once they've chased that piece of food and they've got it, our dog will look back to us. Once they look back, we can then repeat the process and bowl a piece of food in the opposite direction. Once we start to do this, we can start to get this back and forth very fast recall, because they run out, chase the food, and we're tapping into that chase instinct. They grab a lovely piece of food and then they charge back in, hoping for another one. At this point, we can use our verbal cues. So if our dog is returning quickly each time, we can now start to use our verbal cue of bowling. And also, don't forget, our body is giving a very clear visual cue, because they're looking at the hand. They know that the food's going to be bowled away. So don't be mean and use small pieces of food, because we want our dogs to find that piece of food quickly and then come back to us fast, in the hope that there is another piece coming. So let's have a look at that with my dog Bert in real time. This is the gorgeous Bert, and you can see Bert's already looking at my hands and wanting the game to start. So Bert knows this game, and that's why I'm bowling the food a little bit further away. Now, when you first start this game, I would bowl the food just a little away from you rather than a lot. Now, don't worry about what I'm doing now. We're going to talk about that in a little while. But now you can see I'm bowling the food away. And as Bert comes back in, I'm bowling again. He runs to get the food, can't wait, gets back in. Now, this proximity that we talked about, this is what we're looking for, to be able to have our dog come in close and touch them without them fearing that the lead is going on and that we're the fun police. So we'll activate the bowling game again. You can see how Bert's really engaged and wants to play. Now, at this point, when your dog really is understanding the game, I would be very much thinking, right, am I going to put my verbal cueing of bowling and my body language? So let's have a little look at our next stages. But I hope you enjoyed seeing Bert in real time. The return and anchor. Yeah, it sounds like a pub. What we're looking at here is Bert returning in the video nice and fast, but that also relied on me moving too. So I used my movement to get Bert to come in nice and fast and managed to move him around quite nicely. So we activate that game and get lots of speed and movement involved, which our dogs absolutely adore. So the anchor, and I think you saw that clearly in the video, that the proximity anchor is exactly that. Bert came in and I placed food between my feet so that I had him nice and close and exactly where I'd like him. Building trust, gentle handling. In the video, you would have seen that when Bert came in, I actually stroked him. And the reason I did that was once we'd got our proximity anchor working, I just gently stroked Bert and I wanted him to get used to me handling him in that situation. And I would advance that to um, gently touching the collar or the harness. There may be a hold on those two. And then I would look at attaching the lead, unclipping the lead, so that our dogs get used to the idea that the game isn't over just because they're close to us. The lead can go on and can come off at different points of recall, and we're not just going to be recalling them away from things we don't want them to engage with. Resetting the game and our release cue. So the release cue really is a simple word of break, free, go, whatever you want to use, just to let our dog know that actually you've come in, we've done the bowling, you've now got the proximity anchor in place, and it's about saying to our dog, okay, you can now go and be a dog again, or we might play a bit more bowling. But it's just to let our dog know that they're awesome and they've done exactly what we were after. Bowling builds speed, proximity, and trust into your recall. Such a wonderful and lovely game to play with your dog. Build lightning fast recall through dynamic movement. Tap into your dog's natural drive to chase. And what a great way to be involved because we are creating the chase and the drive. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it useful, and it's now your turn to go and play with your dog and become the ultimate destination on recall. So have fun, play with your dogs, and just get used to them being handled. Normalize the touching, normalizing the lead going on and off, and don't be frightened of high arousal. We want to build that for our recall, but of course once we've built that, that's exactly what our proximity anchor is for, to keep them close obviously, but also to lower the arousal as and when we need to. So have fun with your dogs and hopefully see you all soon.